So this is a video where I talk about how I created this quick motion graphic sample. It's actually a part of a bigger project. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna dive in right away. So let's do this. What we're gonna do, we're going to take one shape at a time and explain how we did this. So this is the illustration file. You can see everything properly layered. So I bring everything inside of After Effects, and then what I did, I right click this. Let's just solo this real quick and undo the position for this particular layer so you can actually see what's happening. So I got this inside of After Effects, and it was something like this because it was an Illustrator layer. Right click it, go to create, and then create shapes from vector layer. This basically gives you a shape layer out of your illustration. So that's exactly what I did. So what is the reference for this particular animation? My reference was basically imaginative. I imagined a house which is rotating something like this, and keeping that in mind, it's pretty obvious you have to have a reference creating any animation, yeah. And most of the time is nature, is something that you observe every single day, and is common sense. So that was my reference for this particular design. So let's just give a keyframe for the first group, and then open the next one, give it a keyframe as well, and we'll do the same for the third one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go 20 keyframes forward in time and add 3 more keyframes. Now this is going to be my final shape, but this is not looking good. So what I'm going to do, at the end of my keyframes, I'm going to move it to make it look a little even. Yeah, I guess this is okay now. Yeah, and I'm gonna come back to my first keyframes, and the reason why this is moving is because I changed the last one afterwards. That's why this particular part is moving. So what I'm gonna do now, I want to create my starting point, and I want to see if it is going to rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise. Yeah, so I want to get this a little closer, something like this. And so I'm gonna create that by manually adjusting all the keyframe, all the points of this illustration or shape layer. And yeah, actually I want to bring it to something like this as well. This looks okay to me. So let's just make a few quick adjustments, and let's make these two go a little inward actually, and these also to come here to be. So what I'll do, I'll just go up here, take this and move it around to, this is really annoying. Yep, something like this. Yep, this is fine, I guess. Now it's looking okay, right? So this is how I do it, and this is what's happening in the entire video. And yeah, this is basically how you do it. And let's just undo the solo and give it a position like before. And by the way, I've mashed this particular layer into this bigger shape. That's why this is looking the way it's looking. Yep, so I also want to easy ease all the keyframes that I just created. Yeah, so this is exactly what's happening. Let's take the next shape and let's solo this thing, and let's undo the position real quick. So now if you open the contents of this particular layer, you can see lots and lots of groups. That's because these windows comes in as a different group as well. And not only that, if you go to your illustration, you can see this is one completed shape, this particular thing is one completed shape, this particular thing, rectangle, is one completed shape. So After Effects is bound to create one group of out of each shape in your illustration. So that's exactly what is happening. So group 10 is a single uh, layer. It's not it wasn't a single layer actually. I combined these three groups into one by hitting Ctrl G on my keyboard. So you can see this is group 1, group 2, and then you have the rectangle as group 3. So I combined it so I can, manipulate and change the parameters of the entire thing altogether. Now what I did basically, I changed lots and lots of things here. I changed the position a little bit. You can see as it's moving, it's changing its size. It's rotating a little bit. Yeah, it's changing the size. And it's getting skewed a little bit as well, just to match the angle of the wall. So that's what I did. You can basically play around on your own and see what fits right. So this looks okay for me. Maybe a little less rotation on, maybe not. Yep, this is okay. So everything is the same as the previous smaller house. The only new thing was these windows, and I just told you how I did that, and now it's okay. So that's basically it. This is how you create uh, such fake 3D sort of animation, and everything else is self-explanatory. This guy is popping out, Animation Composer. You have all the transitions. This particular transition is what's happening with this thing, whatever it is, I don't know. And as with the tree, I manually created scale keyframes, and then added the graph a little bit to make it look something like this. Start slow, then boom, and then end slowly. So this is exactly what's happening. Yeah. So yeah, this is what it takes to create such animation, and you can do the same as well.